started, and I'll probably fuck around with it later. Alright. So, how about you start us off with your most famous catchphrase?
Cunt?
Catchphrase. Cunt. Alright, this is a great way to start an interview. Hey, this is my great intro. Hey guys, my name is QSP. I'm a cunt. Fuck you. See, I introduced you better than I can introduce you.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm a known sex offender. How's it going? I'm having a good time.
I totally do not have a gun up to your head. Nothing's wrong here.
Oh shit, the kid's escaping. Hang on a sec.
Uh-oh.
So is this gonna be like a type podcast type interview, or like how do you want this to go?
Pretty much. I said before, it's completely laid back. That's pretty much why I started off that way with a hey, how about we start off with your favorite catchphrase?
Your year is cunt.
So only one you have. It's like you're a 2-bit streamer or something. Oh wait, you're pretty close to that. You're a fucking, copycat YouTuber. I mean, closest thing. Or is it? I don't know. Honestly, my biggest question to you would be, what was your biggest inspiration for starting your career in quotations?
So, apparently you have questions for me.
Yes, I did. I asked you one just now.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, were you busy?
I was, shit, I don't...
I can tell you were pretty busy, apparently.
I'm sorry,
Alright,
yes,
so
go ahead.
My question to you was, what is your biggest inspiration for starting your career in quotation marks?
I'm guessing you mean for YouTube.
Sure.
I always get asked that question, and normally, on the edge, someone would say like, they'd be like, this person or like a YouTuber or something, or someone in their family was doing it, or a friend was doing it. I didn't really have an inspiration. I just thought it was cool. I was like, hey, you can do your own shit. Like, you don't need to answer anyone. Oh, and then I found out down the line, like while I was uploading, like I had like 4 videos. I was like, you can get paid.
The thing that most people figure out after a while is like, hey, wait, you can get money for this? I mean, not anymore.
It wasn't a big deal for me because I've never been like a money person. I didn't join, or still to this day, I'm not really interested in the whole money aspect. But like, I just loved the whole creative freedom of it, and I just loved the fact that you can, not anything, but you can upload anything and everything, almost anything and everything you want to your own personal attire. I just loved that. So
yeah, that's pretty much what I love about YouTube. I mean, I think the only website that comes even close is maybe VidMe or whatever I believe it was. I think it's called VidMe.
Yeah, VidMe, as you said yourself, comes just like maybe bit close, but it's got a lot of catching up to do.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it has like a advertisers thing, so people are kind of trying to migrate over there, and they're doing their own kind of things going on. I don't know what exactly is going on over there, but I know that it's a growing thing, and I even made like a account over there just in case. I didn't put anything on there. I just was like, I'll make one, just in case YouTube decides to kill itself. I mean,
I hope not, because I've got a lot of stuff planned. I'm enjoying YouTube.
Yeah, so far I'm liking it. I like the. I don't know why, but I always manage to find myself into like I make my own community somehow. Like
What do you mean?
Like somehow I started putting out my videos and everything, and I come across all these assholes like you, Bugsy McCoy, Purifa. You guys are awesome, by the way. You guys are like the most consistent people who have commented on every single one of my videos, other than another person who, God rest her soul, is dead at the moment. Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
yeah, I don't know how. I feel like the only reason why I'm able to like say that like with a straight face anymore is because I've kind of gotten over it, but still to this day they're really important to me. They're a really nice person. Um, but yeah, at the moment they're kind of gone. But you guys are still here, and so far you guys have been awesome. And what's even crazy is you guys have your own following and everything.
Yes, it's okay, man. I remember when Purify, she had like 30 subscribers, which is only a couple months ago. Genuinely, like only
Yeah.
2 3 months ago. And I think I'm pretty sure what happened was, it was during the whole PewDiePie thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had like the fiasco with the Wall Street Journal. I commented on one of the videos. I can't remember what I said. I can't fucking remember. And I wasn't expecting a response. I just read it or wrote it because I was like, hey, it
Might
was,
as
it was
well.
an opinion. And she responded, and I was like, oh wow. And then she was pretty nice. And then I got chatting in, and I was like kind of motivating because in the comments she was saying that she didn't really feel like doing YouTube because she didn't see a reason to. So I gave her that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd say apparently I'm also a big encouragement to her for her thing. And I feel like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because what I said to her was that her editing skills is just fucking top notch. It really is. She does really good job.
It's very smooth. She has a very nice way of editing.
Yeah, she does a great job. And
It's definitely her own style, definitely.
oh yeah, she always has this kind of girly but very
Yeah, it's really well done. I
yeah.
completely agree.
And I mean, I'd say it's only comparable to like Matsuya's way of editing. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
Matsuya's. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
Dude, I love PewDiePie. How can I not know Marcia? Like, dude.
yeah, she has Matsuya has her own. I'm not sure if she
Yeah,
edits her own video, but she does
she has a
have
channel. Yeah,
she has a preference.
she
But
does. Yes.
yeah, Purifa has her own thing that as far as I know, she's edited her own videos and she does a really good job. I only found like a couple of mistakes in any of her videos. The only one that I felt really could have used a lot of um work was like the one that she did of the raincoat person, the potato.
Yeah, yeah. I see where you're coming. Yeah.
That was the only one that I'd say is the most flawed video that she has, but it's a really good video.
I would say that they all have and they're all good in their own right. But there was one I can't remember which one it was, but her voice was incredibly quiet.
Oh, that's all of them.
No. There are some where the quality sounds good, but like there was one. They always sound good. Like audio quality is top notch, but like it's just there was one where she was incredibly quiet.
It may have been the
And
first
like,
one because her voice was incredibly quiet on the first one that I'm pretty certain that we both saw. Because her talking, well, you kind of had to like make sure you heard her properly.
Exactly. You kind of
But she got across her points very well. She was very well spoken.
Oh yeah.
And I have to be honest, like in private conversations with her, she's incredibly well spoken on any subject that she talks about so far.
Excellent.
Yeah. We talked like between me and her, we talked about the Israel situation. She schooled me, like seriously. I had to apologize to her that because I fuck I screwed myself a little, and I acted a little bit arrogant. I'm gonna have to be honest. And she showed me wrong. She's a very smart and very well informed person. Um,
It's nice of you to say about someone.
well, yeah, that's because it's true. She is.
No, I'm not agreeing. I'm just.
Yeah. I guess my next question to you would be, what do you think of Purifar then, since we've been talking about her so much? Like overall.
At first, I was apprehensive because I was like, I was thinking, is she gonna? Because I remember she uploaded a video after she'd made a video about the whole PewDiePie thing, and I was like, is she gonna stick with it? Because I was very curious. I had like a microscope because I've helped a lot of channels in the past when it comes to like foundations and finding their own community, and like I was watching because I've had channels in the past that have gone really good. They've flown off, right? Like they've had a really good start, and then after a while they kind of become inconsistent. They drop off the edge, and I was waiting for that to happen, but it didn't happen. It was really good, and so far she's done really well. So my opinion on her channel is incredibly good now. And as a person, and from what I've heard and seen, she sounds like a great person. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with you. I hate to be that choir who is like clapping for the preacher, but that's pretty much what's going on. I agree with you completely on that one. But I mean, just in general, there isn't a lot to say about her. I don't know of anything that's really bad about her other than like she could work on her language, I guess. She could work on maybe, enunciating maybe a little bit more, like, being a bit more outspoken is, I guess, the word for it.
Understood, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, she's really good. I don't think there's a lot to say about her that's negative.
No, nothing at all. I was just thinking of, I remember the comment you had on one of my videos. I can't remember, which reminds me.
Was it the most recent one?
Yes. I was thinking, what the hell was your first impression when you saw the dumb shit? Like, it must have been like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
that is in. I feel like it wasn't who is this guy. It was more of what the fuck is he doing? what is he getting at? And then I was just like, you know what? He's just fucking around. I'm fine with that. And then, because I was looking at your videos, oh no, I remember now. I think I found you through Purifo's videos. You were commenting, and I commented back, and then you were like, hey, I think you commented on one of my videos. You're like, hey, I would appreciate if you gave me the kind of criticism that you did to Purifa. And I was like,
yes, I remember.
And I was like, all right, sure. So I go on to your video, and of course I gave you my really serious criticism. And I'd say the biggest thing about your videos is that they're very reminiscent of 2012 memes. I don't know if you remember them.
What do you mean?
Do you remember Filthy Frank?
Of course.
Yes. Filthy Frank was, I'd say, a big inspiration for a lot of memes that came out of 2012. And his whole thing was just honesty, just fucking around in front of a fucking camera and doing crazy ass shit. And I'd say that's pretty much your whole premise, and I'd say you do it really well. Especially your recent video, and I'd say my recent comment really gets across.
Oh. By the way, are you talking about the one where I get dragged away?
I think I was thinking about your 700 subscribers thing.
Abuse for 7. Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying. What was the comment I gave you in your video? I think it was something along the lines of, um, Oompa Loompa dances around, then tries to kill Goth using a fidget spinner, then gets depressed or something, gets told to kill itself, gets depressed, and then, uh, I think I said you hang yourself or something, I don't know. I think that's what I put down, but I forget.
No,
It was
that's
just,
constructive criticism.
it is, isn't it?
It is.
But the
It
weird
is.
enough, it sums up your video.
Oh yes. Oh yes, of course.
Because what was it that how much of that video was you dancing to? I forget what the name of that freaking song is.
I am the one the way.
Yes, I'd say a good like 1/4 of that video was you dancing.
One good thing about what I do is just the amount of fucking fun I have, man. Like, there've been so many videos I don't think they're privatized currently, but that I had and my friends have filmed, or I've had I've had like a relative do it, and it's just so much fun, man. It's so much fun.
In it's great. Like
So great.
I think I remember
Like
the first one I saw. You brought on like the ginger kid. I think it was. I forget what his name, his thing name was, but he was a really cool dude. In fact, he schooled the shit out of you. And I remember how you essentially, like, you gulped, you looked down, you're like, enough of that. It was just great. It was just all hilarious shit. And the thing is, right, your whole thing, altogether, like I said, just reminds me of 2012, because it's a little bit of that self-deprecation, just pure nonsensical humor, and there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing negative about it. You know, when there was that one thing that I said I would do in one of my videos, but I haven't done it yet because you know, I just haven't really thought of it. But it was the faggot thing. It was like, hey, end the video on faggot, and just yell it, like, screaming it. That was so crazy.
I'm pretty sure the way I did that, I came up with that. I was oh man, I was editing, and then I was like, hey. I was like, this coat hanger. I was like, that wall. I was okay. I gotta have an ending. I can't just end it on that. And I just turned the camera on. I was like, faggot.
That's some good improvising right there. I like
and
that.
There was one. It's a video where I shouted out Puri, and I can't remember. She fucking commented. I was walking, and there was a fucking I don't know what it was. It was like the sharp thing. I during I was improving, and while I was improving, I stood on it. I was like, fuck. And I was like, should I keep this in, or do I? And I was like, okay, I'll keep it in. Fuck,
the answer is always keep it in. When you're doing the crazy ass shit that you do, is always keep it in. And
so you're saying that that's something that you like?
Oh hell yeah! That's pretty much what's probably going to happen to this video. Is I'm probably, if I do any editing at all, it'll be very minimal. Because so far, I'm enjoying this entire conversation, and none of it would make any sense if I didn't include the beginning.
Yes, indeed.
The completely insane beginning.
Have you seen the I think it's called Untitled MP4.
Wait a minute. I think I may have saw it, but I just like kind of forgot it. It may be like one of those long lost videos that you may have seen, but then you're like, it was okay, and then you forget it, and then later on it's like, oh shit, I remember that. Until MP4 QSP. Yes, I did see it apparently.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't expect to be back this quickly, obviously, but I got.
Oh yeah, by the way, that is the most like craziest thing that I saw. I remember commenting on this. Where is it? If I can find it. Can I find my own comment? Or is it just fucking buried? I don't know. I'll never find it. Anyways, I feel like the biggest thing about this thing was that it's disguised as a joke video, but it was largely pretty serious. And I liked it. It was very short and
Yeah.
sweet and to the point.
The video, the entire point of it, because a lot of people were fucking confused in the comment. It was quite funny watching. A lot of people didn't understand. They were like, "What the fuck? Why?" And like people genuinely thought I had been kidnapped. It was quite funny.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes, yes. If you go in the comments, you will see people saying it, and like, but anyway, the reason that whole thing happened and the reason that I haven't uploaded since is I'm actually planning to release something to follow up on it. Like it's a build up for something, and you should be seeing that soon. I'd say in the next week there'll be another video correlating to it, and then after that you'll see the actual finished product.
Right. Oh, I see the Straightforward with QSP podcast. I don't think I actually saw that one. I don't remember like seeing that in my feed, so that's kind of annoying. Like, I didn't see that. I'll have to check it out. What's the
Yeah,
whole? I was gonna say,
it
what's
was
the whole idea
really
behind
funny.
it?
My friend Nevermar, he got on, he asked me a bunch of questions concerning me and things that he knew would be relevant to the topic. And we just had a big chat. It was chill, just like this, exactly like this, actually. And then after a while, once we go on through the topics we think, when we have enough fun, once we think the time was done, we're like, all right, well, it's chill. Let's end this. And it was done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was exactly like this. It genuinely was.
Just kind of bullshitting and everything. I like it. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because, like, I don't know if I told you before, but the kind of shit that I made earlier, that's the kind of shit I like to listen to. It's just people giving their straight up thoughts about things. So I like listening to the podcasts. It's great. So, yeah. So definitely this is like spoken word and stuff like this and audio. Like, it's my passion. So this is generally stuff that I like. I'm just kind of challenging myself to kind of have to, because the thing about YouTube, right? You need to actually, if you want to like take some opportunities, like the one I'm taking right now to talk with you and put up on, YouTube. I'm actually having to come out of my shell and kind of do some things and take the initiative. I'm gonna like with YouTube, you have to take the initiative if you want to do anything. And
want to get anywhere, you can't be stuck in a shell. You've got to come out, like.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing that's so appealing, though. Like, believe it or not, there are people like fucking Markiplier, PewDiePie who weren't like that. Like, there's no way they could sit in front of a camera and talk. Because I remember when you or I first started watching YouTube, to us it would have been foreign. We would have been like, why are they talking to a camera? And then after a while, you get used to it. You're like, I understand.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel like if I remember correctly, the first YouTuber I probably ever saw was maybe Mr. 360 Games. I don't think you know him. Yeah. He's his other name is Double, and he was really, really active during like 2012. He was really active. He did like a lot of Minecraft shit, and I found it because at the time I was visiting some cousins and I was looking up some shit for Minecraft, and I was just watching some YouTube stuff, and I just so happened to come across Double, and that was like my first impressions, stuff like that. And then from there, it was Tobuscus. Then I think eventually there was PewDiePie. And it was mostly because of Amnesia, by the way. Because I really like horror games.
Dude, he was like PewDiePie, he's an interesting subject. Like he was, I remember Tabascus, like you were talking about, like them and shit. I remember watching them, and then like PewDiePie was such a small channel, and he had that channel Pewdie before he, and I was like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden he just fucking started blowing up when he did that whole amnesia thing. Like he fucking blew up.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it's just, I'm going to be honest, seeing like PewDiePie put out videos, I don't even watch them anymore. I just like to see like the names of the videos he puts out, because it's just so surreal to me. You see like that one video that he put out semi recently, which was basically him doing amnesia again. And
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. I was like, holy shit.
it's not even crazy, it's just surreal. It's like, what? What world am I living in? And
No, it was no. I mean, when I say crazy, I mean like it was crazy. It's just like it was so nostalgic. It's like holy shit. He's like, damn. This is like almost 7 years or 6 years later, and he's like, wow.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's it's definitely just one of those moments where you just kind of scratch your head and you're like, wow, the current year is crazy. Like, I feel like the biggest thing that could have really gave us the hint that this current year was going to be crazy was the absolute moment that Trump said, "Hey, I'm going to run for president." People did not take him seriously, not at all. And like this has been a long time coming, by the way. This whole ordeal with like the 2016 war of the memes, you know, as people who are in the meme community like to call it, the meme war of 2016. And it's been a long time coming. I've been watching the skeptic community and uh, the atheist community and just the thinker community. In my opinion, that's what they would be called. People who like to think about things and just put out their thoughts about the current day, different things like that. And it's been as of recently. It's just because of how prevalent a thought it is to say, free speech is bad and we shouldn't have free speech. It's a prevalent thought among, left leaning places. And it's just kind of like, wow. It's just, to me, it's just one of those things where you're kind of like, you just become worried for future things, and that's pretty much how I felt leading up to the 2016 election. Basically, I'm saying that Trump being president was could have been predicted.
Yeah, indeed.
And hell, I think it was predicted by several people. I think it was I don't know if you heard of Psychic Pebbles.
Yes, I love him, man. He's he's a good animator.
He predicted on Sleepy Cabin, apparently.
Oh wow.
He basically predicted that Trump was going to be president, and and not only was he right, but he was surprised that he was right. That's the sad part.
Have any on Trump? I don't really. He doesn't affect me, or like the things he does don't affect me, so I don't really have an opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, the only reason why he would affect anyone is if they are if they're in any way, involved with the thinker community or I guess just politics in any way. And I don't think you're that kind of person. And
well, I know about it. I'm not in like it's not. I'm not interested in. I'm just like I joke about shit all the time. Like
yeah,
it's not. Yeah.
yeah, I get you. I mean, for me personally, I'm heavily involved and always trying to be keeping up with what the recent thing is. And the problem with me is that there's so much information out there that I have to kind of like pick and choose what information I want to take in.
Indeed.
Yeah, because it definitely is like 2017 has definitely become the year of the fake news.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Like no fucking joke. Like you'll hear one thing, it's like, no, it was this other thing. No, it was this other thing. You didn't even like you start to realize that there is a lot of bullshit. And it's why I've become wary of any like website, like news website that I hadn't heard of before. Uh like anything that's like, what is this place? Anything that makes me go like, huh? Because Breitbart is a website that I can semi kind of trust, sort of. Huffington Post, sort of, too. They have a little bit of credibility, as well as Guardian. The Guardian has a bit. Actually, the Guardian has more credibility to me than the Huffington Post. That's my opinion. Then, let me see. Anything that's on the major broadcasting over in America is just utter trash. Like, I don't pay attention to that shit anymore beyond, like, oh, so they're worried about this thing like these days. Oh, well, they're fucking retarded. You know? That's just me though.
Yeah, I completely understand. So, are there any like particular questions that you want to ask me? Like anything?
I do actually have more questions. I kind of went
Alright.
up. I kind of went on for a little bit. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I just was curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What made you? My big. I feel like what really confuses me is your choice of an avatar. The bunny.
What do you mean?
The bunny. Like it
The
just.
bunny?
Yeah. What about it made you want it to be your avatar?
Um, it's not a bunny.
What is it?
It's this. I know it's confused. It's actually a panda.
Holy shit! You're right. I never noticed this shit. I always thought those were sunglasses. Like, no, those are just regular glasses, but... Oh, dear God. You're not joking. That is a fucking
It's a
panda.
panda. Yeah, it's a panda. Yeah.
Dear God.
I remember telling Fury, I was like, make me something cool, surprise me. And she said, what color do you want? I said purple, and she did that. I was like, fuck yeah. And the reason it's a panda is because QSP, the name, is actually like the actual meaning of it is something that if I could change, I would fucking change it. Like I love the name QSP, just QSP in general, but like what it stands for, I hate. Like it's the most cringy shit. I made it when I was like fucking 12, right?
What's it mean?
Quick scope and panda. It's like the most cringy shit.
I can understand why you would want to change the meaning of it.
Oh, indeed. I would rather have quite small penis than quite small fucking quick scope and panda.
I have small penis.
I'd rather have that, honestly. Honestly, it's better than having a cringy 12-year-old Black Ops clan name.
I would definitely agree. Because I love my own name. I'm not actually that certain about my YouTube name. I couldn't care less about the YouTube thing. But like my internet name, the alias I usually go by, which is Looney, I like it. It's my favorite thing in the world. And it started like God knows when. I think it actually started when I was making my Steam account. I was just like, you know what, I'm Looney. The real Looney Tune. And that's pretty much what it was. And then the Festy Lovegood thing started when I was doing like I was still doing Gmod, and I was like, you know what? I wanted to do some HL2 roleplay or whatever, Half-Life 2 roleplay, and it's not fun. I do not recommend it. Do not try
So
to do Half-Life
what
2.
do you think the avatar was a bunny?
I thought there were sunglasses, and I Just, it looked like a bunny rabbit's face.
So you just wow. So you,
Oh dear God.
you just realized. Oh, I don't know.
For whatever reason, your
I mean,
connection is deciding to kill itself. So anyways, now that the technical difficulties are fucking not as bad as they were before, where the fuck were we?
You were talking about the whole bunny avatar, and I think that was where we got.
Yeah, your little panda thing. Yeah, apparently you're a panda. Not a bunny, but I do like the picture that I got you, which is a really cool bunny with like a suit. It looks nice. I mean, even I'm going to say like, maybe what I'll need to do is in post, maybe I'll have to sit down and try and figure out a way I can fuck with it. I don't know. I don't know what I can do necessarily with a Windows Movie Maker, but oh swear to God, if I can figure it out, I will. But yeah. So far, that's fucking crazy. Oh yeah, we were basically talking about those things. All right, so here's my question. I'm going to give you a really, really weird question out of the blue. Let me think. So, the age-old question. Is it easier to bite through a finger or bite through a carrot?
Through a finger.
You saying it's a finger? Well, I disagree. I think it's a carrot.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree. This is a great, great debate. The two greatest debaters in the world come together. We do not agree on the same thing. All right, call it a day. I just noticed, by the way, you have 900 subscribers. What?
What about it?
Oh, I just noticed that. I'm just saying, like, I just noticed that you have 900 subscribers. So if you get 1,000 within, like, the next couple of days, congratulations. Like,
Thanks, man.
that's honestly fucking insane. Like,
What do you mean? What do you?
I don't know. It just seems like crazy to me. Like someone who I like used to watch, and like when I watched like when you were like fucking 600, and it's like, what? This guy 900?
Yeah. It's growing fast.
Especially when
half the time I'm like super inconsistent too. So
I will say your videos are worth it though.
Oh
So,
wow! What makes you say that? What makes you...
well, like I said before, I come from the era of 2012 memes and shit. So I like that shit. It's my jam. I know a lot of people wouldn't be into the kind of humor that you like, and I know a lot of people would probably, think it's so.
I'm honestly surprised that someone like Puri can watch my videos. Like I thought
I'm not
it would be
surprised.
too offensive. I am.
She's a fucking goofball. You've never realized this?
I've never spoken to her.
Well, like, the thing is, right? She's a freaking goofball. She sent me like a video of her just messing around with her freaking brother one time. It was just she was like standing on a stool and she's like, "I'm taller than you," and he's like, "What? No, I'm taller than you," and like it was just all kinds of silliness.
Oh sweet.
It was fucking adorable, but like Leia said, she's a freaking goofball. It does not surprise me that she would like your kind of humor.
Oh wow.
Uh, plus your kind of
This is
humor.
sorry, what?
I was gonna say your
Sorry,
kind
what?
of humor is actually, like I said, it's still really pure. Like it's not really. There is no hatefulness in it. Just to be honest, like you never really trying to be negative when you are joking about something.
Well, no, I'm a nice person. Like I like making people happy.
You can say that, but like for real though, yeah, I agree. You generally are a nice person. You generally don't. You're never really trying to be mean to anyone whenever you're joking, and I think that's a great thing to aspire to. You know?
Well, no, I'm not. Like I think the only time where I've actually been legitimately annoyed is when I made this video called like "Why," and it was a video on this person, randomvideos.com, and she basically was one of my friend's friends who made who had a channel as well and was significant had a significant following. But the thing is, the difference between her and I is she would blatantly steal content,
Mm.
uh, and like portray it as her own. And it was this dance type content, and I didn't. I was like, I wasn't making a hateful video. I was just trying to point out what she was doing was bad, so she'd stop it, right?
Hmm.
So she stops it, and then months down the line or something, she completely changes her channel up to the way I think, in my personal opinion, it should have been in the first place about her and things she was doing, and it was just kind of like she had taken my advice, but not. Just pretended like, I came up with this all myself, and that kind of annoyed me because, like, I went out of
I
my way
wouldn't
to
make a
do all
big
this
deal
stuff.
out of it. Like
No,
if someone,
I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm just.
yeah, I'm more just saying like if I were to like give someone advice and they just kind of like pretend like it's their own, I couldn't give a fuck less personally. But I can see why you'd be annoyed because you came up with the idea and the person who is completely unoriginal and can't even think themselves out of a freaking paper bag and they're like, oh yes, I
Yeah.
thought of this thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just personally, I probably wouldn't make a big deal out of it because it's just
No, I
well,
didn't. Wasn't.
it's just not your style really,
Yeah.
and I can understand that. It's not my style either. I mean, my style would generally be if I do call someone out, it like I try not to call people out for things that are just stupid. And in fact, I got into it with some person because they were saying, "Oh, you have to call people out for every stupid little thing that they do." And it's just like, or else you're not helping. It was like some stupid feminist thing. It was just like, and and there was like a lot more to it, but like, it's just really dumb when you come down to it. How just you. I'm sorry, I went way off. My brain just got scrambled. But what I was trying to get at is that someone was just saying something really stupid, and they were saying like, "Oh, you need to do this or else this." And the thing with that, right, is you could be a total idiot, right? Like you could act like a total idiot, but if you like point something out that's obviously retarded, like you shouldn't be shamed for calling out something retarded. I mean, sure, you know, you may look a little bit stupid, but what you said is still right and should still be discussed. You just may
Yeah.
be also in the limelight yourself, you know? And that's completely okay. I feel like people should be talking more and not be told to shut up. And that's exactly what these people are wanting. They're wanting people to shut up, and that's not how you get that's not how you get progress. More often than not, people shutting up causes stagnation and retardation of society. Like,
Kind of like religion, you know.
yeah, exactly. It's why during the Dark Ages were so bad. You know, every time someone would try and, do something that's like a little bit different, it's like, no, it has to be this way. And the problem with the Catholics specifically was that it was already a really corrupted idea from the fucking start. Like, not necessarily Christianity, but like Catholics. The whole idea of essentially, oh, there's only one church, and it's the Church of Rome, because reasons. Because Peter, basically. That's their reason for existing. That's their reason for existing. It's because Peter. Peter went to Rome, and there you go. It's a lot more nuanced, but it's basically bullshit. And it's like, really? So that's your reason why the Pope has ultimate power? Has the power to, like, forgives people's sins? That's why you can, like, why all this shit happened? Why, he had the power to essentially call someone a freaking heretic. And it's like, there is no person in a religion that should have that kind of power, otherwise it's a fucking cult. And that's what the Catholic denomination is, But that's just my opinion. But, I mean, to a certain extent, like, while it's my opinion that's based in fact and whatever, some other person may have a different interpretation of those facts. My question to you, I guess I'll give you a really serious question just cause, and then, if you have something you want to discuss, then we'll talk about that real quick, and maybe we'll wrap this up. Sound good?
Okay.
Alright, so my really...
Oh, sorry.
No, what was it you wanted to say?
I was gonna say, as far as editing, what do you think?
Part of the evening? Sorry?
As far as editing goes?
Oh, I'm gonna... I don't really care. I'll figure this out. Don't worry about little...
I mean, like, as far as, like, do you think that my videos are well edited, or, like, do you think they're, like, really poorly done, or...
No. Like I said before, I think, like, I'll keep on saying this, it's really reminiscent of that era of, the 2012s, where it's like, it's just you in front of a camera being silly. And, it spawns memes and people, using your face to be all silly and, get across different emotions, and it just is a reminiscent, it's nostalgic, I'd even say, of that pure time in which, people could take a joke to a certain extent.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I will give you that.
Because...
So what were you gonna say?
My question to you, I guess we'll end it off on a really serious note then.
Alright, sure.
So, what did you... I guess it'll be like a twofer. First of all, what did you think of my, Guide to Nihilism video? Because you never really, talked about it really that in depth.
What did I think about it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't really have an opinion. I just, as far as the way that it was set out and the way that it was done, portrayed by you specifically, I think it was done. I think it was definitely not something I would have expected, but it was good. It was good nonetheless. Like, I like the way it was portrayed.
Mm-hmm. Then my final thing would be to you is, do you have a belief concerning, just, like, where do you think we come from, whatever? Do you have anything like that?
What, like, do I have a religion or something like that?
Or belief? I'm very open-minded.
I am an atheist.
Hey, I'm fine with that. You're an atheist? My question, like, a little bit to elaborate, is, are you the kind of atheist who's just like, I'm just not sure? Or is it like, I just don't think there's anything else?
I'm not an agnostic atheist. I'm an atheist who I just don't believe there's anything. I like unless if there is like factual evidence showing me yes this does and this, I will obviously I'll be like, hey, well, okay, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, hey, but until then, no, I don't.
Yeah. This will kind of, I'm gonna like tell you how I see what you just said. Um, Real quick, because it ties into what I said earlier about there's a different interpretation of facts. Well, my interpretation of facts is I look at things around me and I see things like how the entire world functions together. Like, if you take humans completely out of the equation, the world was made to sustain itself, in my opinion. Take that as an opinion based upon the facts that we see, which is that everything is here and everything seems to work with each other. Everything seems to be there to help sustain the earth in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the animals, they all play a part in spreading seeds, in being compost when they eventually die, or being food for each other. All sorts of things. It's all meant to be self-regulatory, but then you throw us into the mix, and it feels like we're like agents of chaos in a world that has very set rules.
Are you saying that everything like is meant to be, but we're just kind of here ruining it more than helping it?
The way I see it is we were put here. That's the way I see it. My natural logical conclusion is, there was nothing, and there was most likely, a astral something. I like to think of it more as a concept. The concept of a god being just a thought. How they talk about how God was, whatever in like the Bible. And I think that's more of a more rhetorical idea because he was just there. That's basically the way it's put to us from him. It's like I've just been here forever. And I do not have any reason to doubt the Bible on that. And to a certain extent, I wouldn't be completely surprised. Because I just saw this something like a long time ago, and that was like, if you like just have like a box of nothing, will you eventually get something? And the problem is, if you were to just do it right now, you probably would never get anything. Probably. Most likely. Like, but like, it seems like the idea of a god is very strange, but it's strangely logical. Because everything is, like, I don't know if you've ever, like, sat down and just, like, took a look at biology and how everything perfectly coincides with each other. And then you see, like, how mutations work. Because people like to attribute, the way things are to evolution and mutations. And it's just like, well, the problem with mutations is that they never really go anywhere. Right? There's a difference between adaptation over time and then evolution, where it's one mutation after another turning one thing to another. But like, first of all, I don't think we've ever seen that happen, in the entirety of mankind. We've seen more, and heck, we've seen more things die out than we've seen more animals become. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, I guess my idea just in general is, there's so many things that just happen to coincidentally work together with each other to really say, oh, yeah, there's no God. That's just me, though. Like I said, that's my interpretation of the facts as I see it, which is that
Yeah,
everything, yeah. Um,
I can see where you're coming from.
and I feel like because of my nihilistic mindset, it's why I can kind of just be okay with everyone's opinions. And why I, it makes it hard for me to understand why other people can't be okay with other people's opinions. But it takes me a second to
Agreed.
realize. Yeah. It's just kind of strange to me. But at the same time, I understand. Uh, you have anything you want to say about this interview? What do you think? How would you rate my interviewing services?
I would say a solid 9.
A solid 9. I, thanks.
Good, straight to the point questions. Never really went off topic. It was more of like a ranting fixture. We got to the point. We eventually, with a little bit of technical difficulties, got got past it all, and we actually had an interesting chat. So
I've got another confession to make. I'm your fool. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb.